keep your filthy, dirty,
Yes.
fat, orange hands out of our minerals.
That's it.
What is wrong with you?
That's it.
If you don't want, listen, if you don't want us Africans in your country, then we don't want your filthy hands into our minerals.
Why is America worried about an issue with Rwanda and the Congo? Why would they even want to broker peace?
They don't deserve to be called presidents. If you can't listen, if you can't sit down and solve African problems with African solutions, why are you called president? African problems need African solutions. You mean we are so stupid and so incompetent and so inept to a point whereby we can't solve our problems? Queen, let me basically Congo is the heart of Africa. Without Congo, there's no Africa. Congo
Really?
Congo is the heart of the richest country in the world is Congo. In terms of minerals and in terms of natural resources, it's Congo.
See, this is what people don't know. They talk about the blight and the problems, but people don't know it is the riches, and that is why this chaos is here. So let's keep going.
So now let me say this, Queen. Before I start anything, I want to tell all black people right now, forget about what's happening in Gaza, about Israel and Iran and Russia, Ukraine, and any other war that is happening. But you find these Kenyan protesters in African or even African American protesters vouching
I don't get it.
for Ukrainians. And it's disgusting. You never ever see them talking about the Congo. Look, what's happening in Congo is bad. And recently, the DRC and Rwanda signed a deal with the devil, signed a deal with Donald Trump. And this is a peace deal. Yeah, it's a peace deal. So basically what happened is the DRC and Rwanda have been fighting for many years. Now Rwanda is one of, if not the biggest exporter of coltan.
This is Kagame, right?
Yes, that's
Isn't this Kagame, Rwanda? Okay, tell me who's the leader of the Congo? Who's the leader? Who's the leader? I don't know the leadership.
Yeah, the leader is called Felix Tshisekedi. Felix Tshisekedi.
So Felix T is the leader of the Congo, and we know about Kagame. He has promised, but Kagame got some problems too. Okay, gotcha.
So they've been fighting for many years, and now the US has supposedly brokered peace between Rwanda and DRC. So basically, what's happening now is Trump said, "Hey, look, stop fighting. I will broker peace, but you have to give me your mineral." And that's exactly what happened. Now let me read you some of the highlights from the deal. Okay, so number one is territorial integrity and prohibition of hostility. So number one, DRC has to respect Rwanda's territories, and Rwanda has to respect DRC's territory. And then there has to be peaceful resolution of disputes and prohibition of hostile acts. So they should not fight again. Number two, there has to be disengagement and disarmament from both sides. Both sides have to disarm. Okay? So
both sides got to be a sitting duck. No arm. They can't defend themselves.
Exactly. Okay. And there has to be ending of state support to armed groups. Okay? Now, there has to be a joint security coordination mechanism. And then also, this is very important, refugees and internally displaced persons and humanitarian considerations. So there has to be return of refugees, and then there has to be the placement of internally displaced persons. Now remember, this has been going on for many years. It has been brutal. People have been displaced. A lot of people have left Congo and gone to neighboring countries, and a lot of people have been displaced internally, especially in the eastern part of DRC, which is where there has been a lot of friction. So a lot of people from the eastern DRC have been displaced. So what this peace treaty is trying to say is that people have to be placed. They have to find shelter. They have to find like their lives have to come back to normal. Basically, that's what this deal is trying to say. Then also another thing that I really want to highlight about this. These are the final provisions. And I'm reading, by the way, I'm reading straight from the US government website. Straight from the US government website. Okay. So look, this agreement shall remain in force indefinitely unless otherwise agreed by the parties, which is DRC and Rwanda. Number two, this agreement may be terminated at any time by either party upon 6 months written notice to the other party. And then number three, this agreement may be amended by written agreement of the parties. And then number four, the annex shall be considered part of this agreement. So the ambassadors from both countries, from DRC and from Rwanda, they, even there's a video of them signing this treaty, and in the middle was Marco Rubio. Rubio, your Secretary of State.
Trash. Let me ask a question, because this is what I don't understand. Why? Well, and this is what we should ask. Why is America worried about an issue with Rwanda and the Congo? Why would they even want to broker peace? So just think about it. We live on the other side of the world, and we are worrying about peace, and not because we don't even care about African Americans. I know they don't care about Africans. So don't tell me you care. You don't care about the American African, because I'm here. So don't tell me that you are more enshrouded with Africans and you care more about African lives, and you don't care about the African lives that's in your country. So why would America need to broker peace between two African countries? Explain that.
Minerals. Listen, what I told you the other day was, whenever you see an African president sitting down with a US president or a European president or a Arabian president or an Asian president, that deal has the non-African on top of the Africans. That's what you have to, like, there's no other way around it. That's just how it is. And Trump was honest about it. He said, yo, I'm getting minerals out of this.
Yeah, that's who he is. But then what we don't, a lot of us don't, like the American, we don't understand. We think that Africa is just a ball of chaos, a bunch of corruption. But the corruption in our own country, we don't call out. Trump and their folks. We see it right in front of our face. And so he goes to another country. He brokers a deal. And what I don't understand is why two African leaders need this white guy to come in and broker anything. Sit down and talk. Be fair. We're Africans. Enough. You don't have a cult in mind. You cannot be the biggest producer of something you don't have. That's just like being a colonizer. How do you go in someone else's country and control their minerals? Control yours. So sit down with them and broker a real deal. Why do you need these folks? Tell me why.
Good. Now let me tell you why. Number one is because we don't believe in ourselves. That's number one.
What? Because we can't hear you. We don't what?
We don't believe in ourselves. Number one.
It's number one.
Number two, we are disorganized.
Mm.
We have 54 different countries in Africa that are confused and don't know what the hell they're doing. We are operating.
What's those for? Explain. What countries you said they're doing?
No, we have 54 different countries.
Oh, 54. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, yes. Okay, they don't know what they're doing. That's all over the place because they're not communicating. They're not doing anything in a unified way.
Now let me tell you something. When I saw this immediately, I became very disappointed. We cannot allow US of all the countries to meddle into our issues.
No.
You mean to tell me we have all these 54, we have all these 54 heads of state. We have all these 54 ambassadors. We have all these, all the thousands of parliamentarians, the thousands of senators we have here in Africa. You mean to tell me they can't sit down and figure out how we can solve the issue between DRC and Rwanda?
That's what I'm saying.
Like all the diplomats we have and all the brilliant minds we have in this country, you mean to tell me that a white man has to sit down and solve our problems? Listen to me very carefully. I don't listen. I don't. First of all, Trump, stay out of our business. Stay out of our business. You are the same person who doesn't want African immigrants into your country, but you want to meddle into African issues. So how does that make sense?
They want me to say African. They want that minerals. Yep.
Wait. So you don't want Africans in your country, but you want your dirty, filthy orange hands into our country, or into our countries and into our continent. Keep your filthy, dirty, fat, orange hands out of our minerals.
That's it.
What is wrong with you?
That's it.
If you don't want, listen, if you don't want us Africans in your country, then we don't want your filthy hands into our minerals. And number two, Felix Tshisekedi and whoever co-signed this deal, why are you letting them in? And I'm very disappointed in African leadership. We can't sit down and solve this on our own. We have the African Union. We can't sit down and solve it on our own. And by the way, let me say this. If African Union cannot solve, in fact, they've failed. They've failed. They have failed. The only thing African Union knows how to do is to condemn things. We condemn what's happening in Ethiopia. We condemn what's happening in Congo. We condemn what's happening in Sudan and in Somalia. That's all you do. You have.
What's the action? Where's the action?
Listen,
where
is
the action?
You have a big body, and the headquarters is in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and all you can do is to condemn. Listen, if that's all you can do, then close the doors, close the windows, close everything, pack your bags and go home. We don't need you. We don't need you. In fact, look, they have failed. This was this was something that the African Union needed to do. And this was something that the African presidents needed to do. But they failed. So you know what? Because they failed, because this is the most important thing in Africa. Like, millions of people have died. Thousands of people have been displaced. Minerals are flying out. So that you, Queen, or so that Trump can have, can have his iPhone powered, and can have his laptop powered, and can have his TV powered. At the expense of children. 9-year-old, 8-year-old, 7-year-old, picking those coltan. Now look.
Wow.
The African Union, listen, I have some controversial things I have to say, but I really mean them. Number one, the African Union needs to be disbanded. It is a totally useless body. It has to be disbanded effective immediately. This isn't the African Union. This isn't the African Union that Kwame Nkrumah visioned.
Yeah, that's true.
This is totally corrupted. This is totally funded by white people. It's not even, you know what? They should even call it African Union. They should call it the European US African Union. That's what they should call it. They should call it the EUAU. EUAU. European US African Union. That's what they should call it. Because you can't call it the African Union and you can't even solve what's happening in Congo. You can't even solve what's happening in Ethiopia, in Sudan, in Somalia. If you can't do that, then you are totally useless.
And they're right there. It's not like they're in West Africa. They're right in the headquarters is in East Africa. Matter of fact, in Ethiopia. So you should be able to solve what's going on in Ethiopia. You should be able to reach over to Kenya and work with Ruto and work with these young people and get a resolution and get some change. You should be able to go in Tanzania. You should Congo. You're there. You are there. Why would Donald Trump have to come 20-something miles to, his contention or whoever did come and sign something between countries, and the African Union is right there? What does that say about us?
Let me tell you, the African Union is useless and it needs to be disbanded effectively immediately. Now look, because of the ineffectiveness and because of the disorganization of Africa, and also Queen, because of the white savior complex we have, because this is another thing of a savior complex. We always want white people to solve our problems. Because of all of those things combined is the reason why Trump has run away with the minerals right now. Now look, because of our disorganization, because of our obsession with white saviors, and because of because of our disunity, Trump has run away with the minerals. Now look, because we can't solve our problem. Listen, African problems need African solutions, just like American problems need American solutions. That's why just like European problems need European solutions, just like Arabian problems need, like, look, I'm not saying anything extreme here. People call me an extremist every day. Whoa. How extreme is it when I say that that African problems need African solutions? That's it.
Coming from Africans.
How revolutionary is me saying that African problems need African solutions?
That's it. I agree.
Now look, let me take you back. In 2007, here in Kenya, when we were having our post-election violence, which is like the worst atrocity, it is the worst atrocity that has ever happened in this country. Thousands of people were killed.
Wow.
Thousands of people were displaced, all because of these useless politicians we vouch for. And let me say this, by the way, you never, ever, ever put your life on the line for any politician, especially these African politicians. African people who are listening to me right now, never, ever, ever, ever put your life on the line for these stupid, useless African politicians right now.
Never.
You know what's funny?
Did you say never?
Funny? Never, ever, ever, ever. You know what's funny?
What's that?
Keep on every election we have in many African countries, people fight each other. Oh, I support so and so, and this one supports so and so. We fight each other because we are supporting different people. But you know what happens, Queen? At the end of the day, these stupid, useless African leaders, they talk to each other on phone. Let me tell you something, Queen. You know what? Let me tell you something. This Congo and Rwanda situation, I am probably 99.99% sure that Felix Tshisekedi and Paul Kagame talk to each other on phone every night.
While the people of Congo are being, literally starved, literally overworked. The kids are being abused. So they have the time to speak and talk and not fix these problems. It's almost like it is ridiculous.
Look, you're over there on the ground fighting each other, thinking you're doing your boss a favor, but they're talking on phone.
And they're having tea at night, and they're having tea on the phone. Isn't that something?
You're being used on both sides. You're being used. These people are talking. It's not the same thing here in Kenya. You find politicians in public, they're abusing each other verbally. They're saying all kinds of things with each other. And because you support this guy, you believe that they genuinely hate each other. But
They don't.
Queen.
They don't. Totally. The same thing here. The Republicans and the Democrats, they're best friends. They fight on air and they have dinner at night. It's all an act. That's all it is. They don't hate each other. Yeah, because they're all stealing. Everybody's stealing together. They just got different names.
It's an art. It's an art. You're being listen.
Yeah.
Like here in Kenya, these politicians fight each other during the day, but at night they're having dinner. They're having dinner. They're not even calling each other. They're having dinner. Their wives, look, their wives belong in the same club. They gossip, with each other. They talk. They laugh. Their kids go to the same school. Their kids go to the same school. And you're fighting each other, thinking that they hate each other. Let me tell you, like never ever put your life on the line for these stupid, useless African leaders. Don't ever do that, because they talk to each other at night. They laugh.
What I would like to say when you say that, you said never put your life on the line, because we know that revolution is the only thing that solves these issues. It's like, we got to get these people out of here, and some people will die. Unfortunately, we see it happening in Kenya. This fight to remove Ruto or to at least let the world know that you guys are sick of him. It has come to people's death, as we've spoke about we're going to speak about it every week now, since we're on Monday and Fridays. But when I look at the Congo, with the amount of chaos, the amount of poverty, the amount of oppression, the amount of hurt and between the people, can they fight themselves out of this? Are they so oppressed? How are they going to get out of this when the children are mining? How do they move forward?
So, well, now it's going to be hard, because Trump
is
with the minerals. But it's not hard if I always say, African problem, the only solution is Pan-Africanism. Let me tell you something. If now,
the only solution.
You know what African presidents are fearing is sanctions. They don't want to end up like the way Zimbabwe ended up.
Yeah.
When Mugabe took African land from white people, and they started receiving sanctions from these European countries, from America and all that, then Zimbabwe economy tanked. That's what they fear. That's what they fear.
But that's how you rebuild. Sometimes you got to go low and come back high. You got to step back to come back.
Now,
what do you expect? You expect to have it beautiful all the time? You got to sacrifice to get there. Now Mugabe seems like a king now, what he did. Now people looking at him like they were saying he was so crazy, he was this. But look at now. Look at Traore and look at these guys. They're following almost his blueprint to a point. So,
and by the way, when you talk about rebuilding, it's not only the African leaders who fear. Even the normal African citizen fears rebuilding. Right now, if you do a poll, and by the way, we should do polls. By the way, I don't know if you can do live polls, but
I would love to. When we get our audience up, we got to do some live polls. Like, how do people feel?
Yeah. If we do a poll right now and we ask the normal, we just ask Africans, do you mind if Africa just resets? We reset. That means that you have to sacrifice. That means you have to sacrifice some of your money, some of your personal time,
your comfortableness. Yes.
Like the economy is going to tank a little bit, but that's what it is. We need to deconstruct to construct.
Exactly.
I mean, if we do a poll, if we do a poll right now, not many Africans are going to accept that reality. That's just it. For me,
Wow.
Hey, listen, whatever it takes for us to get back to our greatness, let's do it. You know, but listen, for us to get back to our greatness, we have to sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no other way. There's no other way in this. We have to sacrifice. We have to sacrifice. We have to sacrifice our time. We have to sacrifice our money. We have to sacrifice even the economy. The economy has to tank for us to build a new, revamped Pan-African economy.
Let me tell you kind of example from that. When you look at the American African, like you see the farmers, like the black, because we have a black farmers that has been discriminated against. They haven't been able to get FDA loans, all of this. And now you see white farmers who've gotten all the loans, who've gotten all the help from the government, but now they're getting rid of all of the workers with the ICE raids. So the black farmers have learned how to work around with not having workers, without having loans. They're not complaining. You don't see one black farmer complaining. They're just going about their day because they've had to learn how to not eat from the government, not get anything from anybody. They got to do it themselves. But that was learned behavior. Africa needs just that same type of learned behavior. When you get sanctions from the West, when no one is helping you, you have the power. They're talking about France right now, how France economy is suffering in the energy because of no uranium from Niger. The only way to make these folks know that they need you is to get rid of them and start over. That's the only way. And so when I'm saying that, it's an example for what you're saying, like African citizens don't want it, but that is the only way to go forward. You got to go through to get to, and you will learn how to go forward. And especially when you're rich in minerals, you have things to sell. You're not poor. You know, it's different than America. America has to exploit the world because it's a barren country. You get what I'm saying? The soil is weak. So we got to go around the world and exploit. We don't got to do that. So that's how I just want to give you an example about how that it can work.
Africa doesn't need America. Africa doesn't need Europe. Africa doesn't need
China.
Africa doesn't need Asia. Africa doesn't need South America. But you know who needs Africa? You know who needs Africa? America. You know who needs Africa?
You better know it.
You know who needs Africa? Middle East, Asia, South America, Australia. Everybody needs Africa. We are the only continent. Let me say this. We are the only continent that has nearly everything we need for our survival.
It's the only self-sufficient nation in the world.
Now, you see your white neighbor. We don't need the system that protects her. We don't need them. We don't need you. We have our own systems. We have everything. Like this thing really pisses me off. Look, a huge chunk of minerals have gone to Trump. Why? Because we can't solve our own problems.
Because we disorganized. That's it. You're right. It's ridiculous.
And also, no, listen, a huge chunk of minerals have gone to Trump because we can't solve our own problems. A huge chunk of DRC minerals have gone to Trump because we can't solve our own problems, because we are too disunited, because we are too disorganized, because we embrace white savior complex. White Jesus complex has corrupted us into thinking that only white people can save us. And also, Queen, another thing that has contributed into this is we are jealous of each other.
What I will say,
African countries are jealous of each other. We are competing with each other. That is why
I do believe that. I do believe that, Arena.
You think all African countries like DRC or like Rwanda? DRC has its enemies inside Africa, same as Rwanda. Listen, this enmity,
but Germany is not in love with Italy. listen, you cannot, you don't have to. So, you know what I'm saying? Germany's not in love with it, with Italy. Germany is not in love with Poland, where all of these Jews have come from. Germany, listen, we can talk about Europe not being in love with, look at Asia. China and Thailand have issues. Yeah, I mean, come on, these are all Asians, South Asians, India, and look at India and Pakistan. They've been fighting for what? 300 years. Come on. They're not friends. They're both South Asians. But what I'm saying, brother, is we can continue to attack the African people, but what we also have to speak about how the West brings a lot of insurgency into Africa, keeps the chaos going. The same minerals that we give Trump, he's going to utilize that money to keep chaos in Africa. And so it keeps people fighting each other. It keeps kids hungry. So not only do you have Africa at bending and kind of having some issues with each other, you have outside entities. They are winning when we fight. They are winning when we stay disorganized. They're winning when we don't unite. You don't have to love each other, but you got to know how to work together. It's just what it is.
Let me even say this, by the way. We don't even our petty differences are so petty. Like I told you, it can only be solved by one city. But if we can't solve our problems, if we are too proud and too stupid to solve our petty differences, fine, no problem. But at least let us work together.
Bigger than petty, though, Rena. Don't you think they're bigger than petty, though? They got to be bigger than petty. Because we got the West that you look at France. You can solve the problems, but they finance the insurgents. They finance the destabilization, the destabilization of the country. You see the things. Not only are you worried about your people, you're worrying about the outside entities that are in the country that are financed by Western nations. A lot of that too destabilize what we want to do. So we got to talk about that, not just attack our own people. Now I believe that we got issues.
I'm heading there, Queen.
Okay, let me let you get there. Let me stand back, bro. Go ahead. You do your thing.
Yeah. Now, like I said, where was I? DRC. Yes. Look,
DRC
doesn't have DRC has enemies even inside of Africa. Now, what I'm trying to say, the reason why Trump has run away with a lot of natural resources that belongs to DRC, that belongs to Africa, is because we are too disorganized, we are too disunited, we are too jealous of each other, and we have been corrupted by the white savior complex, which is powered by white Jesus complex, and also is because of the heavy hand of white supremacy. Now,
yeah,
it's heavy, but it's not going to be heavy if we unite. Let me tell you something. White supremacy is powerful because of the disorganization and the disunity of African people globally.
There's no white supremacy if they don't have the minerals in Africa. This is what we don't understand is what power supremacy is money and power. You cannot be empowered if you cannot produce nothing. America can't produce nothing. So you got to get it for somebody else. France can't produce nothing. Europe is a barren place.
Where do you think white supremacy gets the money and power from? You think they'll get it without Africa?
They get it from Africa. They are pressing you with your own cash, with your own money.
The reason why white supremacy has been supreme for 400 years is because of Africa. It's because of our resources, both human and natural resources.
Yeah, that's it. There you go.
Now look. Number one, what I want to say is Trump, stay away from Africa. So listen, you don't want African immigrants in America. But you want to stick filthy, fat, orange hands into our minerals and into our problems. Stay away. I mean, it's fair game, right? Fair game. You don't want us in your country. We don't want you to meddle into our issues. Fair game. Fair game.
Yep.
If you're banning different countries, if you're banning different citizens, different African citizens from coming into America, you do that. By the way, we don't. Let me tell you something. The hype of America is slowly diminishing. Trump is really, really embarrassing America right now to a point whereby Africans are like, well, at least some Africans are like, you know what? You guys can keep your America. The America we were always dying to go is no longer the America we want. So keep it. Even keep that Europe.
It wasn't even there then. Now you really see. Yes, it's trash. Yes.
Keep that Europe. Please. Keep that America.
Stay home.
We don't. We listen. Yep. We are trying to rebuild Africa. We are trying to follow in the footsteps of Captain Ibrahim Traore. So let's rebuild Africa. And I want to tell all African Americans right now, come and let's rebuild Africa. Forget about America. America is dying. America is dying. America is dying. Forget about it. If you can. And by the way, you're not even safe there. You don't know who's going to drop a nuclear bomb. You don't know if it's Russia. You don't know if it's Iran. You don't know. You're not safe there. Start forming a connection right now. You're not safe there. So please form a connection with the motherland. If you want to come to Kenya, I can link you up with the agency that I know and that I'm an ambassador of. Look, please start forming a partnership with the motherland. Come and let's rebuild Africa.
Yep.
Come and let's rebuild Africa. Now look, Felix Tshisekedi and Paul Kagame and all these other African leaders, I'm very disappointed in you because you failed. I mean, look, there's no business of you being president if you can't solve issues like this. So why do we have you? Sometimes, when I was sitting down watching the news, I was like, why do we have African presidents then? If you can't sit down and solve issues like this, then why do we have presidents? Why do we have ambassadors? Why do we have secretary, ministers of state or ministers of foreign affairs or secretary of state, whatever you guys call yourself? Why do we have you? Why do we pay you every month? Because we are the ones who pay you through taxes. Why do we pay you?
Yep. Why?
This is something that was supposed to be solved by us.
But listen, when Kagame is talking and he's up in front of all of these, when Kagame, he's always talking about Africa can solve its own problems. This is the guy who I thought had a lot of promise because he's always speaking when he's in front of the African Union and he puts all of the Western journalists in their place because he's very articulate, a good speaker. But how could he allow then Trump to come in and broker a deal between him and his brother? Tell me how.
I watched the recent press conference that Kagame did. He isn't all the way into this deal. Remember, both parties are not all the way into this. There's still beef. There's still tension. Troops, the militias, whatever you want to call them, they're still on the ground. So it hasn't been implemented 100%. That's what they're trying to figure out. So it's not that this deal will actually work. People are praying it works so that the killings can stop. I also want the killings to stop. Okay.
I do too. Why what is the natural resource of Rwanda? May I ask? Because every country in Africa has a resource. What is the highest resource that Rwanda gets out of its own soil? What is it?
Well,
oil. What do they have? Do you know?
I'm sure they have. I haven't
got something. Because I'm wondering, like, why are you fighting with your brother? You know you don't own. You're doing what the colonizers do. What about your resource?
Well, it's being
That's what
used.
you do.
It's being used. Well, it's being used. Like, this is all a game. You know, this is all
It's
a game.
ridiculous.
They're all being used. Okay, this is all a
Yeah.
game, and now Trump is like, hey guys, look, I'll broker this peace, but you have to give me a huge chunk of your minerals, and that's exactly what has happened, and I'm very disappointed.
Me too.
So, Queen, that's basically what's happening right now. I want peace for DRC. I want the refugees to come back home, and I want the displaced people to be placed and to be housed and to be fed and to, and to be given jobs, and for their families and for the kids to go to school. I want all those things to happen. But in order for it to happen well, listen, in order for it to happen well, and in order for it to happen the right way, we need to sit down as Africans and solve this on our own, without white people coming here in Africa and stealing our minerals so that they can broker our peace. You mean we are so stupid and so incompetent and so inept to a point whereby we can't solve our problems? Queen, let me tell you, Queen, let me ask you a question. You have a family. Will you allow someone from outside your family to come and solve issues that, I mean, come on.
That's why we don't call the police. We don't want the police to come in and tell us how to treat each other. Black folks, if we call the police, it is a problem. We don't call the police. I don't call the police. I don't think I've called them twice in my life. I don't mess with them ever. So there's no reason. First of all, we're not safe around them. And they can't come in and collectively tell us in our households how to treat each other. And if we allow that, we're crazy. And so I don't understand why Donald Trump is even in Africa doing a damn thing. That's what I don't understand. Now, let me read you this, because I asked you a question because I want to know why Rwanda should do better. So Rwanda's key natural resources include minerals like tin, tantalum, tungsten, collectively known as the 3 T's, and gold, along with agricultural products such as coffee and tea, and wildlife, particularly mountain gorillas. So that's what's in Rwanda. That's what Google says. So they have natural resources. Every country in Africa does. We know this. Why are you the largest export of something that you don't have? Colton is not listed. Why are you in that business? That is the problem. So you got to get out of that business, or you got to share business in some way, but you cannot have what's not yours. How hard is that, brother?
Well, Colton right now is really hot right now. It's super hot. I mean,
I know, but it's not yours.
All tech companies need it. AI needs it.
AI needs it, but that doesn't mean you steal it from your brother. Like, it's just like all Nike ones are the hottest shoes in the world. That's Jordan ones. They the most probably expensive. So you gonna kill your brother for it? If you're on the same house and he got the ones, you gonna kill him to get the ones? Why? Because they so hot. So what?
And that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm really disappointed in what we've done. In fact, you know what, Queen? This is something that I really want to say. You remember when there was a mass protest all over Africa when the US was clearly wanting to murder Ibrahim Traore?
Yes.
You remember? That's exactly what I want to happen now. I want a mass African protest right now because of what has happened right
for the DRC. For the DRC?
For this DRC Rwanda deal brokered by the US, there should be a 54 African mass protest right now, because we cannot let this happen. This is pure theft. This is robbery. This is like, robbers coming to a bank and stealing and leaving scot free. And you know what? They didn't even like. This is robbery without a gun. This is.
It's not even robbery because they allowed him to come in. It's not even robbery. This is supportive. This is cooperation. This is collaboration.
Okay,
this is not even robbery.
Well, picture a bank. A bank has customers, right?
Right.
Okay. Wait, just a bit. Give me a second.
Okay. No problem. So what we're saying is if the deals are being brokered by Western leaders, why are they interested in what's going on in Africa? That's what you need to first ask yourself. And if they are interested, what are they brokering the deal to get? And if they broker the deal, is it for peace or is it for them to get something out of it? Because there's no reason for Trump to bring his, like my brother said, his orange fat hands to the DRC and Rwanda unless he's going to get something. So a lot of times I think that when we look at the news and when they bring the what I call propaganda and they tell us what's going on in the world, they say it from a very European lens, as if these countries we feel for the African people and our goal is to broker a deal for the African people. No, it's never. It's for American corporations. It's not even for the American people. It's for corporate entities and corporate greed. And Marco Rubio, who unfortunately, who is an immigrant, for real, which we all are, he should know better. But of course, once they get that power, they all white. So it's really awful. This is somebody who's a brown person who's considered to be brown, and he's in around the blacks, the originators, and he would broker a deal to hurt brown people. It's sad. It's sad.
Now look, my point was this is a robbery. You know why I call this a robbery? This is picture a bank with customers, yeah, customers. Right. But this bank is being robbed by robbers, right? Now, the manager and the bank owner, well, let's say the manager is in on it as well.
These are the owners. The owners in.
That's the situation right now. The robbers is US. Customers are us. The manager is Tshisekedi or
Rwanda or Kagame.
They are the ones who have allowed the robbers to come in.
And the owners are the people, and they so hurt they can't do nothing. They hurt and they dying and they oppressed, and they having a hard time coming up under all of this oppression. It's hard.
They are the ones who have allowed the robbers to come in and steal. So basically what I'm saying is it's very disappointing, and I'm very disappointed and I want every African who's watching, right, and I just need to start a movement right now. I need to start I need to inspire all the young people the same way all Africans stood up with Ibrahim Traore. Is the same way we should stand up with the DRC people right now and say no to this deal. This deal is very exploitative. This deal is basically trash. It's trash. It's trash.
It is. Wherever the U.S. is in the middle of it, I promise you, it is not for the best of African people. I don't know what's going on I know what's going on with us. There's a lot of trauma, a lot of hurt, but these leaders, it should be well, you know what I'm going to say? I hang my hat with the youth of Africa. Africa has the youngest population in the world right now. And it is the most viral population in the world. I stand with these youth because they're tired. And I think they will continue to protest. They will continue to fight because they see light in the tunnel. The tunnel used to be very black. But I think what we see with the revolution and the decolonization of the Sahel states, and you see Ghana and Chad and all of these West Africa kind of mobilizing in a way. It's not that they're perfect, but they, at least you hear language that is about Pan-Africanism. I don't hear that in Kagame. I don't hear that in Ruto. I don't hear that in Ethiopia. I don't know. I don't even know the leader of Tanzania. I need to know, because I don't hear anything in no Pan-Africanism with him neither. Huh?
It's a woman president in Tanzania.
Oh, it's a woman?
Yeah.
I will know her next week. Monday. Yeah, I will know about her and everything about her. I'm going to read and get to know her. But I don't hear what's going on in West Africa. Do you think that will spill through Central Africa onto East Africa, of course, North and South? But why is the East African bloc still so enshrouded with these Western countries when the West African bloc is trying their best to get away from them?
Well,
what do you think that is?
Well, because of our leaders, man. Our leaders are so useful.
Okay, it's the leadership.
Well, not leadership, politicians. We don't have leaders in East Africa. We don't.
They're politicians.
Our leader is Traore.
Yeah.
See, our leader is Mama Nandi Netumbo from Namibia. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are leaders, not these guys. Okay. You look at African leadership, you have, first of all, you have Museveni in Uganda. I don't even need to talk about him. You have, of course, Ruto. Definitely need to be like, we all know what he does.
It's nothing going down with him. He trash.
You have Samia Suluhu, trash as well. In fact, let me say this about Tanzania. Tanzania has a woman president called Samia Suluhu. So far, I don't like the work she's doing. She has built a couple of good roads and all that, but in terms of suppressing people who oppose her, I don't like what she does.
Okay.
I really admire Magufuli, the former president.
Who?
I really admire the former president of Tanzania, the one who passed away. So
the one that passed. Yeah.
That was the one. That was the one who I was like, this is a real African leader. He came in, he slashed the budget by more than half. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just transformed Tanzania, and that's what we need in Africa. We just need, let me tell you, by the way, and let me say this. In Africa, we don't need a nice guy to be president. We don't need nice guys. We need a bunch of mad people who will get inside and jail all these corrupt African leaders, who will get inside and take back African land from white people, who will get inside and just do things that a normal African president can't do. We need a mad president, not mad against the people, but mad against corruption, mad against neocolonialism, mad. Like, we need a president who just come in and bulldoze everything. We need a bulldozer for president. We don't need nice people.
Right. That's right. Listen, these folks ain't been nice to you. They've killed you, they've raped you, they've maimed you, they've done everything against you. You got to definitely get the West out, and you need leaders that want to be with the people. Let me ask you a question though. So say Ruto, the youth win and you get him out of there. Is there someone who you guys have ready to step in to serve and be a good leader? Who's being cultivated to take his spot? Because he got to go. So who's going to go in?
The problem now with Kenya is the opposition is divided. So we have right now we have 6-7 people who want to contest for presidency against Ruto. So what they're going to do, they're going to split the opposition vote. So that will make Ruto win.
Yeah. So you guys don't have term limits. Is there term limits? Like you can only serve, like we know we're not getting two. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So what's this, the second?
This is the second, but people don't want that. I mean, we don't want another term, man. Like, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
Too much. Like, it's too much. This is officially the worst president in the history of this country. Officially. So
William, the worst. Wow.
He's officially the worst. He's very ignorant. He's very arrogant. He doesn't care about the people. He thinks that he's powerful, which he is. He is powerful. But he fails to understand that the power comes from the people.
Comes from the people.
And all people are asking of him, yo, what's wrong with you? Reduce taxes. How hard is it? Reduce the taxes.
Yeah.
And corruption. We know you know, because we all, like, thieves know each other. Why don't you just jail your fellow thieves? Like, why don't you just surround yourself with people who can work? Because that's another thing about Kenya. Presidents and just leaders in general here in Africa, they don't like hiring people who can work. They don't like hiring competent people who can do a good job, especially in their cabinet. You know what they do? They hire yes men. They hire yes men, and they hire people who basically don't know what the hell they're doing. So that they can sing the praises of the president every day. Oh, Mr. Here.
Sounds familiar. Sounds familiar.
Here in Kenya, some of them in Swahili, they said to the president, "Oh, mtukufu rais." Mtukufu rais means the almighty president. I'm like, wait. Are you a man? Why are you calling another man the almighty president? Come on, man. Like, this is just normal manhood. You never, ever call another man, almighty and all these things. What is wrong with you? Just call him Mr. President. You don't need to call him out of his name, the almighty, the all.
They're being respectful. They're being respectful.
Respectful. You call him almighty. What is wrong with you? There's nothing almighty about you. The country is in shambles. The country isn't doing well. What is almighty about you? And this isn't just to Ruto. This is to 99.99%. And I'm excluding Mama Nandi Netumbo, and I'm excluding Captain Ibrahim Traore and a few others who are doing a good job. I'm talking to 95% of African leadership. Why are you calling them? You know what? Let me tell you something. And all the African citizens who are listening to me right now, don't call your presidents Mr. President. Don't call them that. Call them by their first name.
William.
Call them William. Call them Yoweri. Call them Paul. Call them Felix. Call them Cyril. Call them. They don't deserve to be called Mr. President or Madam President. What have they done?
Wow.
Call them Madam President or call them Mr. President once they have united Africa. Once Africa is back to the top. Once Africa has reclaimed its place as the most powerful continent in the world. That's when you call them Madam President. That's when you call them Mr. President. Until that day, they haven't deserved to be called president. They're just people like you and me. They do nothing for their people. So I will never, ever, ever massage you and to call you Mr. President or Madam President or the Almighty. Nowadays they call them never, ever, ever.
Never, ever.
You know what? They failed to broker peace between DRC and Rwanda. So why should we call you president? Why should we call you an African president? Yet you have failed.
You're not solving no problem.
You have failed to solve the problem of your fellow brother in DRC.
Yeah.
And Rwanda, you have failed. So why should we call you president? Let's just call you Paul. Let's just call you Yoweri. Let's just call you Felix.
Paul
Let's just
Felix.
call you Stevie. Let's just call you Samir. Let's just call you your first names because you don't know what the hell you're doing clearly. As it pertains to this DRC Rwanda deal that is brokered by the divided states of America, and I say divided very, very intentionally. Listen, I'm very disappointed in you, African leaders, because this is something that you people could have done. This is something that you people could have sat down, had a lot of meetings, and solved. Even without one life getting lost. But look, we let it go out of control, and now we can't even solve our problems. We have to look for Trump, of all people, one of the most racist, if not the racist president right now. We had to look for him to solve an African issue. We should be ashamed of ourselves. Listen, African leaders should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
Number 2.
I agree.
And he has left with the minerals. Now look. So now that's the price we have to pay. That's the price we have to pay for our disunity, for our disorganization, for our lack of love and lack of just care that we have in Africa, because we lack all of that. That's the price we have to pay.
Yeah.
Trump runs away with the minerals. And you know what? He was and you know what made me sad, Queen, is the way he was smiling and saying, "Hey, I got the minerals out of this." So basically he's laughing with the loot.
A happy thief. Yeah.
He's a happy thief.
Wow. Yeah.
So I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed in you, African leaders. Number 2, I would like to suggest that the way we stood up for Traore continent-wide, is the same way we should do to this situation. Blatant theft. This is blatant theft. In Kenya, Queen, we call it uwizi, we call it uwizi wa mchana. That is like a thief stealing from you during the day when the sun is out.
Face. In your face, baby. Wow.
When the sun is out. This is very disappointing. So we need to do a mass African protest against this DRC Rwanda deal brokered by the divided states of America. This is this is theft. That's it. This is theft.
When was this brokered and this just happened? When did it happen? Like a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
It happened 2 weeks ago. If I'm not
2 weeks
ago, it happened towards the end of June. So it's very recent. It's very
recent. It's already into the coffers of America. You can go on the website. They already have it there. So
in fact, what I was reading is the American government. This is the US government website. It's all there. It's all there. And if you want, I'll send you the link, put it in the description. Let people read how inept and how useless and stupid our African leaders are. They can't even solve a problem like this. This is very embarrassing. And number 3, I want all African citizens, apart from Burkina Faso and apart from Namibia and apart from maybe the Sahel countries that are siding with
Nigeria, Mali.
Yes, Nigeria and Mali that are siding with Traore, of course. So Nigeria, Mali, Burkina Faso, Namibia, and a few others that I can't think about right now. 95% of African citizens shouldn't call their presidents Madam President or Mr. President. You shouldn't do that.
At all.
95% of African presidents shouldn't be called Madam or Mr. President. They should be called by their first name. Call the president of South Africa Cyril. Don't say Mr. President, call him Cyril. Call him Yoweri. Call him William. Call him Samir. Call him Paul. Call him Felix. They don't deserve to be called presidents. If you can't listen, if you can't sit down and solve African problems with African solutions, why are you called president?
That's it.
You call yourself a president. You wear a suit every day. You wear suit and tie every day. You kiss your wife goodbye. You kiss your kids goodbye. Because you don't have, because you don't drive yourself. You tell your driver, drive me to my office. While you're heading to your office, what the hell are you going to do in that office? Why are we paying you millions and millions of money every month to go? Like, listen, what are you going to do in that office? You can't even solve a simple problem like the DRC, Rwanda. You can't solve the Somalis. You can't solve the Sudan. You can't solve African problems with African solutions. Why you are president? You can't solve corruption in your countries. Why you are president? You can't solve the problem of agriculture. Why are people? Why do we have the UN? Part of this deal, by the way, part of this deal is humanitarian work of the refugees. Why do we have people starving in Africa? Why do we have people starving in Africa? All these NGOs making billions and billions of money out of donor money, and there's nothing they're doing because poverty is a business in Africa. And I know this for a fact because I've ever worked for an NGO. I've ever worked for a United States NGO. They get billions and billions of funding every year and they do nothing. They use 10% of the money and then they pocket 90% of the money. But because they're an NGO, they are not subjected, some of them are not, taxes. Poverty is a business. If you can't solve that, why do you call yourself an African president? Why do you want people to kneel in front of you and call you Madam President or Mr. President? Why do you need people to do that? You're useless. So you know what? Let people call you by your first name. When people see you in the streets, let them call you William. Let them call you Yoweri. Let them call you Paul, Felix, Cyril. Let them call you that. Because you don't deserve the title of president. Because you're not solving African problems with African solutions. In fact, look, the title to this, maybe if you can add it, African Problems, African Solutions. Pure, blank, and simple. African problems, African solutions. So I'm very disappointed in all of you.